Sorry.
Raphael.
I mean, honestly.
We can do this.
Come on, Raphael. Keep it down.
Hey, let's see right now. We're back here with Fire Emblem Three Houses, our Verdant Wind Assassins only playthrough, where I think we're probably going to be doing like a shorter episode where we take on the supports, because we have just like a fair amount of them, enough that I wouldn't want to do them and the story mission in the same one. I don't think. And I've got some notes. Number one, on the bulletin board, under anything that was to do with the Abyss, there was, it was labeled, I don't think we can look at it from here. I think we had to be in my room for that, but no, it doesn't seem to show up. But on the bulletin board, it's anything to do with Abyss was labeled questionable notices, which I find endlessly hilarious. And the other note is that last night, I think it was last night, actually I can't remember. Oh yeah, it was last night. Wait, was it? No, I don't remember. Time's a mystery. Just for a proof of concept, I played through Crimson Flower on hard, the intent trying to do as much of it without using magic as possible, and I found that from the Red Canyon mission and on, so that's Chapter 2's story mission and onward, I was able to do it without only using magic. So a magic only playthrough, I only got as far as the Mutiny in the Mist. But it seemed from that point on that I was going to be able to do the whole game that way, probably. There are a handful of missions that are a route that have a lot of enemies, so having limited magic will suck for those, but it seemed like, and I didn't realize this before, Monk doubled your magic uses for... It doesn't mention that, does it? But I swear everyone got double magic once they went into Monk. For, like, both kinds, like, in the same way you'd expect... Oh, we're not even allowed to look at them. Gremory to be able to. Anyway, point is, Linhart and Hubert had, like, 40 or 50 spell uses at their disposal, so if that's what 2 of our people can get, and everyone else was not far behind. Caspar and Petra were kind of struggling with it and all, but the be-all and end-all of that is that a Crimson Flower magic-only run, it seems totally viable, and we should definitely do that. It'll just have to be magic-only from the Red Canyon onward, because not everyone starts with magic, and it's limited. And I'll be playing on hard mode probably because doing it on maddening I think would be a hard sell. And that said, for that run, I've been doing some more thinking about that thing I was talking about with Bernadetta and going into War Cleric for Fist Fair, but then also having Persecution Complex, so that way she's getting +10 on each of her magic gauntlet hits. But then I remembered that there's such a thing as Fiendish Blow, which you get from Mage or Warlock or one of them earlier black magic classes. So with that, it's like the mastery for that. With that, she'd be getting on each punch mind +5 from Persecution Complex, +5 from Fist Fair, and +6 from Fiendish Blow, provided she goes first. That's a +16 on each brawling hit, which, if she gets 4 hits, is an automatic extra 64 damage. So I feel like we have to do that. It'll be a shame anyway, because you won't get to see the real plus with that whole Bernadetta brawling thing. If you give her the physical version of Fiendish Blow, what's it called? Death Blow or something like that. The real great thing is that works with like cheap weapons, like training weapons. So War Cleric Bernadetta with training gauntlets would be getting the extra +16 if it was a run we were allowed to do physical attacks. But I'm thinking ahead here to the next run of this game we'll probably be doing, which is probably going to be Crimson Flower magic only from Red Canyon onward, and that would be cool. Anyway, I've spent a lot of time talking about a playthrough that is not this one. We've got supports to do, and buttloads of them. Claude has several, so let's start with Claude and Marianne. Why not?
Claude?
Oh, Marianne. Have the gods taken pity on my lost soul and revealed a sign to me?
The hell did that come from?
I've been researching the 10 elites of Fodlan, but I can't tell fact from fiction.
That was the right response. What the hell did you say, Claude?
Anyhow, what can I help you with?
Well, I found this pendant, and I think it's yours.
Ah, right you are. Yeah, honestly, I'd resigned myself to never seeing it again.
Along with your sheath and everything else you've dropped over the past few months. I don't remember much about this support line except for the rather fast-traveling funny quote.
It's a keepsake from my uncle, who has passed on. If I truly lost it, my grandfather would have had my head. Thanks for returning it to me, Marianne. You saved my tail.
Please, it was nothing. I should be...
No, I think that's enough researching for today. Why don't you join me for a nice chat?
I just came to deliver the pendant.
No, in other words.
Sounds awfully lonely to only talk to those whom you have business with. Do you really dislike talking to people that much?
An awkward thing to ask her to explain to you via speech.
It's just... I never know what to say. I'm sorry.
No need to apologize. We'll figure it out as we go. Tell me, are you like this with your father, too? Within the Alliance, Margrave Edmund is prone to debate. With a father like that, I would have thought...
Margrave Edmund is my adoptive father.
Oh, is he? I didn't know. Where were you born?
That is none of your concern. I really must be going.
She's hiding something, that much is clear. But that just makes me all the more desperate to know her secrets.
You know what? Claude was obviously like prodding her there, in a point where she was obviously not game, but he did it with like slightly more tact than Lorenz, I would have said. I mean, he did it with more tact than Lorenz anyway. Speaking of, we'd probably better get this out of the way, hadn't we?
Tell me, Marianne, do you have a love of flowers?
Well, I don't dislike...
Hello to you too, Lorenz.
I've happened upon a spot that's just teeming with splendid blossoms. Would you like me to show you?
No thanks, Ignat's already showed me.
I think I would rather stay. It would be for the best if you kept your distance from me.
Well, perhaps I could pick a few of the nicest and present them to you. With a beautiful bouquet in your arms, your magnificence would rival even that of the goddess.
I think we've crossed the line from going on too strong about 3 sentences ago.
I would never compare myself to the beauty of the goddess.
I see. Well, I don't mind. Oh, that is a lovely handkerchief you've got there.
That makes sense that he wouldn't have realized what a trespass that was, considering he's mentioned before he's not terribly devout, and she somewhat is. But also, like, top tier changing the topic of conversation there, my guy.
Did you know that a handkerchief reflects the sensitivity of its owner? Yours tells me you have quite a refined sensibility.
And we're returning to crossing the line with blistering haste.
If you only applied yourself a little more to the rest of your
Gah!
ensemble, there is no doubt in my mind.
If you admire my handkerchief so much, you may have it.
Throw it and run. This is the right
No,
move.
Please, that is not what I meant.
It was a gift from my adoptive father. I didn't choose it for myself. I'm sure I don't share his refined sensibilities, though, considering how little he and I have in common. I have to go.
Such beauty. And yet, with just a little polish, she'd be
Stop
a
with the
marvel.
talking of the polishing.
Put in some effort.
Goddamn Jesus H, my guy. She straight up told you what you did wrong that time. She was like, she might as well have just like written with a red Sharpie on a giant ass poster board. Stop comparing me to my father, dick nuts.
I wonder. Indeed, I shall make it my mission to awaken her beauty. There is nothing that I, Lawrence Hellman Gloucester, cannot do.
Take it down from 11 is one thing that you can't do, apparently. God, I don't remember that. Because it's one thing for at the end of his C support for him to have an idle thought of like, oh, maybe if she took care of her appearance, because he's Lorenz, he's superficial, we know that. But like for it to be like at the end of every conversation, he's like, ah, damn, I wish she was more conformant to beauty norms. Is conformant a word? Just stop it, man. Stop. Maybe
morning,
all of us
Lysithea.
want to cry.
Out for a stroll, are we? It's lovely weather for it.
All right, Lysithea, you and Lorenz are giving the people whose names start with L's a bad name today. We can bring it back. Ignatz has just walked up to you and said something very kind and lovely. Shall we do the 3 approaches again? 1, politely return the gesture and say, sorry, I'm off to go study some more or something, but yes, the weather is lovely. I hope you enjoy it. You can respond passively. Be like, I'm not sure about all that, and kind of carry on your way. Or you can start bullying him for his glasses or his haircut or something.
I might go wander outside myself. I'm sure I can see some beautiful sights.
Ignatz, hold still, will you?
Sure.
Your shoes are untied.
Ah!
Look sloppy.
Approach
Let me
3.
just fix it for you.
Classic Lysithea.
Oh,
Let's
thanks for
not.
letting me know. But really, I'm perfectly capable of tying them myself.
Clearly that's not the case. Otherwise, this wouldn't be an issue. Now, hush.
Indeed.
Thanks.
You've also got awful bedhead.
He most certainly does not.
What? But I examine myself in the mirror before leaving my quarters.
I have awful bedhead. This is what that looks like, Lysithea. If this is awful bedhead to you, you've got another thing coming.
It's the back of your head. Quite unkempt. You really should get it together. I mean, really. You're born to a noble adjacent merchant family, aren't you? You really should be more presentable.
Yes, nobility's all about combing your damn hair, Ignatz. And you're at night school, for goodness sake. Knights are known for being well-groomed.
Sorry, Lysithea. You're always so perfectly put together. In fact, I'd say you're perfect in all respects. I don't think I've seen you fail at anything.
I have. I did. I saw her fail in something. It was being nice to you like 10 seconds ago.
Well, consider that if I make even the slightest misstep, everyone will treat me like a child. There's nothing I hate more than that.
I see. Well, I think you're very mature. If anything, you may be overdoing it somewhat.
He's so sweet. She just ripped the shit out of him for his hair, and then opened up about her insecurities, and he tried to assuage them. Now, Lysithea, remember that 3 approaches thing we were talking about?
People treat me like a child sometimes, but I like it because it reminds me that other people care about me. You know?
What's an instance you can think of where someone treated you like a child, Ignatz? Well, there was this one time when Lysithea tied my shoes without giving me a choice.
No matter how much we stretch, some things are always beyond us. I think it's fine to be vulnerable and ask for help sometimes.
Ignatz, are you really lecturing me about how I conduct myself right now?
He was talking about himself.
You're a sheepish, unreliable scatterbrain who can only ever think about what others think of him.
Which one of us just said that you were anxious about everyone treating you like a child?
Perhaps you should worry about your own maturity before you start questioning mine.
He was questioning his precise words were, I think you're very mature.
Although you certainly look the part of a baby, so maybe that's asking too much. Anyway, I've got things to do, so I'm gonna go now.
Lysithea, wait. Hey!
Out of my way! You're such a child, I swear.
That was uncalled for. After all, I am older than she is.
I think that's a clear case of projection again. She got some, she has like an S+ rank in selective hearing, though. You could you could make that into a political skill, Lysithea, if you try your hardest. Hilda and Leone, let's have a look.
Hey, Hilda. You said you wanted to talk? Oh, what's with all these expensive necklaces? Why do you have them all laid
Just
out?
look at her dead stare ahead of her. Leone's gonna pick one of these and trade it for Gerald's necklace, and she's gonna like it.
Pretty, right? I'll let you choose whichever you like.
Huh? Why would you do that?
Just choose. I want you to have one.
I'm not
How
gonna
would you do
accept a gift
that?
like that without a reason. Even with a reason, I'd probably decline.
Look how gorgeous they are, though. Wearing beautiful things gives you energy.
Maybe for you.
Yes, for me. Why would it be any different for you?
Because you're different people. It's the same reason your hair color is different, your heights are different. There are many things that are different between people, Hilda.
Because to me, those are just fancy decorations. Take this one, for example. How did you come by it?
This was the first necklace I picked out for myself. It doesn't suit my style nowadays, so I don't often wear it.
That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. The sentimental value of each one. These necklaces are nice and all, but I don't have any special feelings or memories about any of them.
That's cool. I thought she was going to go take that in a slightly more judgmental place. I thought she was going to go, see, it's this old thing that you haven't worn in years and you were just letting it go to waste here instead of selling it for money that you could use for resources or whatever. But that's a better point. Her sentimental value for Gerald's necklace is why she would prefer that over one of these ones.
But this charm, it's packed with things I don't want to forget. Captain Gerald's teachings and a lot of memories, too.
She actually brought that around in a way that managed to get through to Hilda, probably. Because Hilda probably understands the sentimental value of her first necklace.
Even if to you, it's just a dirty hunk of wood.
I do understand. But still, you're not going to be very popular with the boys if you keep wearing that dirty old thing.
She got through a little bit anyway.
Like I care about that.
You can drop the whole stony face to act. Come on, I'm offering to help you here. I could even make a charm for you as a gift, if you're really hung up on sentimental value.
Make a charm for me? You do that?
Sure, why not? I don't want you to be alone your whole life.
She genuinely thinks this is like the linchpin between Leone ending up alone forever.
Besides, this happens to be a talent of mine. It'll be really, really cute, so you'd better wear it.
Sure. I can't just accept a gift for nothing, though. I'll make one for you, too, if you'll teach me how. And I'll put plenty of feeling into it, so when we exchange them, it will really mean something.
Oh, that sounds lovely. I'll gladly teach you how, but make me something cute, okay?
You're the one teaching her.
See what I can do.
Oh dear, Leone, good luck. That turned out so sweet! I was not expecting that. I was expecting that to very much go in a fine, we'll agree to disagree kind of territory. Not so. Iggy and Claude.
Why didn't you say anything?
You were praying so fervently, I didn't want to interrupt.
I appreciate the sentiment, but I wasn't praying.
No?
Just standing in the middle of the cathedral alone, with my hands towards my chest.
I was just thinking about the goddess.
Were you now? Fascinating. Please, go on.
Not here. Let's go somewhere else.
So, you were pondering the existence of the goddess, then?
Claw has such an interesting way of, he addresses everyone just like a little bit differently, and he's always trying to set people at ease. Not necessarily in a pure way, right? Because he's often trying to prod people for just their views and stuff. The way he approached Ignatz this then, though, was like so exquisitely casual, if you see what I mean.
Yes. All right. Consider this.
Planetedly casual.
But when people tell stories of the goddess, it's only myths and legends that glorify her.
They probably hope to rake in more followers by glorifying the goddess as much as possible. That would be why the church tends to quietly shove all of their more questionable records under some secret rug somewhere.
Claude, don't put words in my mouth. That's not what I said. I was just wondering what the goddess looks like. That's the kind of thing I like to think about.
What the goddess looks like? Well, I suppose if she really exists, she probably looks a lot like us. In fact, she probably wouldn't be so different from that old woman working here in the dining hall.
What? Claude, please stop. The goddess I imagine is absolutely beautiful.
How rude of you, Ignatz. I'm sure that old woman was lovely back in her day.
He really derailed that conversation fast, didn't he? Claude, I mean. That was one of the ones we read in our trying to decipher French supports ones, and I remember getting it wrong. I think I did not correctly read that he was talking about the old woman running the dining hall. Or maybe I did, I can't remember. Lysithea and Claude, rank C. This one I remember reasonably well.
So I see. If one were to combine this incantation method with the power of a crest, then in theory, it should...
Hey there. Still studying, are we? Isn't it past your bedtime?
Claude, I really don't appreciate you interrupting me right now.
Interrupt me in 5 minutes when I'm doing something stupid and not important.
But if you don't get your sleep, you're never gonna grow big and strong.
Uh-huh. The last thing I need is you fretting over me as though I'm some child. I'm only a few years younger than you, you know. Hardly worth noting. Furthermore, my grades in magic and basically every other subject are far higher than yours.
What about the growing up big and strong subject?
Oh, there. I'm not trying to treat you like a child, I promise. This is me treating you like a princess. Now, come along, princess. Brush your teeth and get yourself ready for bed. I could read you a story if that helps.
Ugh, the audacity.
The
Whatever
audacity
it
of
is
this.
you
Whoa,
think
she
you're
just
treating me
teleported.
like, it's unendingly annoying.
A princess was that time.
If a child and a princess are out, what's left? Should I treat you as a noble hero? Draw your sword, Lysithea. If you wish to continue studying, you must first defeat me in battle.
Just
Come now,
unblinking
face me
stare.
like the hero of legend that you are.
I find myself speechless in the wake of your staggering ignorance. Now, please, leave me be.
Okay, I can take a hint.
It wasn't a
In
hint.
all seriousness, you shouldn't neglect
You don't know what a
your
hint is, Claude.
You'll fall ill if you push yourself too hard. Oh, and just so you know, I heard a rumor that this library is haunted. It's probably not true. Right?
Right.
Anyhow, I'm off to bed. Good night.
You know, I am suddenly rather sleepy. Excuse me while I see myself
And
out.
cue Roadrunner moment.
No matter how she tries to hide it, she's still a young girl at heart.
That was a little mean-spirited, Claude. I mean, I get they're friends, so he feels more comfortable teasing her than he would some others. But he was really slightly relentless in that just then. She asked him to stop a few times.
You.
Then he preyed on her
Just
fear of
what are
ghosts.
you up to?
Schemer Claude.
Well,
Oh dear.
if it isn't Lorenz.
Yes, it is. Try not to sound so affronted. And you're just whimsically wandering the
You
monastery
came at him
grounds
aggressively.
again, I suppose.
You. Just what are you up to? Of course he was affronted.
Oh, naturally.
Anyone
After
would
all,
be.
I really do adore the Garrick Mock Monastery.
No, I think not. That impish look on your face does not suggest innocence. You are up to something.
No, he always looks like that.
Lawrence, control yourself. Let's not start throwing around baseless accusations. It's not proper.
It's not proper.
This monastery is packed with 1,000 years of history. Well, 5 years shy of 1,000 if we're going for accuracy. Those pillars, these walls, even the floor. They've all seen more than we can possibly imagine.
The floor has eyes, man.
Our distant ancestors may have walked these very halls. Doesn't that excite you?
Perhaps if this were a discussion about art, but I'm afraid walls and floors are not sufficiently interesting to hold my attention.
Not even this one? Look at it. Who decided to paint it like that?
Nor will they suffice to distract me from what is plainly suspicious about you. House Regan was on the brink of collapse until they suddenly revealed you as their legitimate heir. That was only a year ago. Where were you before then? Are you even a true heir to House Regan?
If I weren't truly of House Regan descent, how do you imagine I acquired my crest?
Through experimentation and black magic? That could never happen, Lorenz. Just get it together, man.
A crest is insufficient. I am referring to your noble disposition or lack thereof.
Okay, but in this case, a crest is literally genetic.
Well, that's what I came here to hone, after all. I can only hope that you will assent to instruct me in the art of snobbery, Professor Lorenz.
I do not think you grasp the significance of the responsibility you bear. Do you even know what it means to lead the Leicester Alliance? I take no pleasure in saying this, but much of the chaos in our ranks right now is due to the failings of House Regan's leadership.
Of which you well know he had no part because he was only recognized as a legitimate heir a year ago. I get you're just trying to put pressure on him, but
I intend to
jeez.
set things right. And once I expose you for the fraud you are and reclaim my rightful place, that is precisely what I will do. To be blunt, it would have been better had you never shown your face here.
You say that like that wasn't clear from the rest of the stuff you were saying.
Sheesh, that guy. He just can't be reasoned with.
Guess not, eh? That was unfortunate, but we've only got one support left, and it is Lysithea and Leone. Hit play on that,
I'm
please.
about to take out the trash. Got anything you want me to take? How about these? Just some old study notes.
Jesus! What is that? Kindergarten through grade 3 right there?
Wow, that's quite the pile there. You sure it's all fine to throw away? Of course. It's all safely stored in my brain now. If I concentrate, I can access any of it with ease. Why am I not surprised? I wish I had even half your power of concentration. Okay, here we go. Ugh, this is pretty heavy. Well, it'll be a good workout. Oh, but you were telling me not to take my training so lightly.
She's probably gonna backpedal a whole bunch on that now because she felt so bad about lecturing her before.
Still, can't hurt to get a little exercise in. I'll just take it at a run. See you later.
Oh. She didn't say anything.
What is it, Lysithea? Was there something in that pile of paper you wanted to hang on to after all? No, that's not it. There's just something I want to say to you. I'm
Yeah.
sorry for saying your way of doing things was inefficient. You've
There it is.
clearly grown plenty strong, doing things as you have.
Yeah. She outclasses most of us in
Not
most
to mention,
aspects.
multitasking and training in that way surely presents interesting challenges. Well, sure. But if everyone has their own methods, then your methods aren't wrong either.
Thank you, Leone. Can you tell that to my professors when I listen to their lectures upside down?
All you did was share them with me, so there's no need for apologies. Still, it's probably beyond me to imitate your levels of focus and concentration. How do you even manage to throw yourself into only one thing like that? I haven't much choice. I can't waste even a single moment. I can understand that. I'm sort of the same way.
Sort of.
Feeling like I'm not getting enough work done. Anyway, you should just do what works for you. You've got something you want to achieve, right? That's why you feel pressured to study so hard. Yes. Then focus on what matters to you. Leave the rest to people who have the time for it. And hey, if you need any heavy lifting done, you know where to go. The way I see it, it's all training. You know, Leone, you're so kind, so strong. Whoa, what's with the compliments all of a sudden? I was just thinking what an incredible partner you'd make. Really, you've got all of the perfect qualities.
This doesn't go up to A?
What? I'm not simply saying that. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. You're making me blush. What a strange way to compliment someone.
What is it that ends there? What the hell? What kind of game is this? Why is that the last support those two have together? Now hold on a second. There are a few that end at B and it's like, I wish that could have gone a little farther. Like Sylvain and Bernadetta, it's like, it feels like that relationship was starting to develop. But this is so far beyond that. She just said you would be a good person for someone to spend your life, my life with. And Leone was like flustered and taken aback, and that's where that ends? That is messed up. I must have never seen that one before, because what the hell? Unbelievable. We were robbed, I tell you. Nevertheless, that was a fine day of supports. And I echo Lysithea's sentiment. Leone is so much more of a sweetheart than I remember in when I played Golden Deer the first time. Because I'm suddenly remembering now in the Fodlan Bachelor thing I did, I remember saying that she was a kind person, but it was kind of blunt and sort of a rough and tumble of way of showing compassion. I think there's a great kindness to her. It's very blunt, so it goes by, so it hits you so hard and fast that you're like, I'm not even sure she was being nice just then, but she was. But sometimes that bluntness makes it hard to get across just how much she cares. I feel I wronged her. I feel like I gotta take it back. She's been like nothing but the sweetest in these, except with Marianne that one time. But that was a misunderstanding. Generally, she's quite sweet. Dislikes defeat decadence, debt, and poisonous creatures. First of all, you ruined the 3 Ds you were going there. But where does poisonous creatures come from? I guess she's into hunting and fishing, so she's probably been burned a few times on that front. Anyway, them's our supports. So that was a tit shorter, but we'll be getting to the Goddess's Rite of Rebirth, which is a tricky mission, but there are a lot of mages and stuff, right? So there's probably gonna be a fair bit of low physical defenses going on. So I reckon we should have a decent time ticking it out with all our very physical fighting kind of people. And I just realized that our battalion guild has not been replenished, so let's do that before we carry on. So next time we're playing 3 houses, we'll be doing the Goddess's Rite of Rebirth. But that was very sweet. We got a lot of nicer supports this time, and you know, a few mean ones too. Lysithea and Lorenz were on the offensive today in large part. Oh yeah, Ignatz and Petra have some. Petra has a few with people in our party, right? She's got Claude, so obviously Claude, Hoppy, and Ignatz. That's good. Oh, that'll be the only 3 of the bunch we're taking, I guess. But beyond the 12 or so that are in our main party, we can also be adding other people as adjutants, so we can, and they'll gain support that way and be useful. I think you get support boons from, like, you get linked attack stuff from your adjutants. It's been a while. So, for instance, I could be bringing Dorothea with Petra and, like, Ash with Catherine, or someone who she's got supports with. Her supports with Ash are quite interesting, actually. And Happy, I could be like bringing Ash and stuff along, and Constance once we unlock adjutants, which is alas not yet, but just so we can build their supports and stuff, and we can pick someone who's got a good support. What I'll have to do is I'll have to remember to class recruit new recruits out of whatever they're classed into, and make sure they don't equip any magic for if they're going to be partnering up with any of our main party. But that's not for now. What is for now is me telling you that the next video going on the channel is gonna be Super Mario Sunshine Arcade 2 Part 7, which is missions 61 to 70, I think. I recorded it a little while back because it's been some time since we played it. We're getting close to the end of it now. I was able to breeze through the last few missions without too much hassle, so that's good there. I've been behind for several weeks, so there hasn't been another Sunshine Arcade in, let me check how long. At the time of recording, the last Sunshine Arcade was January 19th. It is April 3rd on the time of recording. So wow, it's been some time. That's the video going on with the next on the channel, and after that will be some more Hitman, I believe. Codename 47, where we're finally out of Hong Kong and probably going to be able to take a slightly more chill approach to missions from here on out, because that mission was scary. That's all for now, though, so thank you so very much for coming around. Hopefully I will see you around. Admiral's going to be out of here now. Peace! Maybe I should run. Get behind something and then run. Oh, more shield, please. I think I'm on fire. Yup, there's a fairy gone. Okay, they're charging it up again. It's fine. And this is a lot harder when you don't have the broken weapons you have by the end of the game. Oh, shoot. Okay,